It was about 5 o'clock and was on my mobile phone. It was an obscure number that I didn't recognise. I thought, oh, who's this? What's going on? And then it rang again, and it was her voice, and I was quite surprised because I knew that she didn't have her mobile phone and they were out of mobile phone range in the whole country. So I thought there's something not right. And her voice was quite strong and assertive and deliberate. Mum, listen, this is really important. And that's when she said, and I knew something was not right because I didn't expect to hear from her by phone. But she said, we're okay. The plane has crashed and there have been some people killed, but we're okay, and this is what you have to do. And then she asked me to contact the embassy because it was Christmas Day, the Australian embassy over there was closed, and they needed to have it open so that they could get passports and that reissued. Because everything was burnt, the plane burnt. They lost everything on the plane. They were left with what they were wearing, basically. I don't think they had any warning. She rang last night at about 10:30. And we got a bit more information then. And she said we were about 3/4 of the way back in the plane, which was to their advantage in a way, because when the fire broke out, they knew there was a fire behind them and they could see smoke up ahead. So I'm not sure if there was a fire in the front as well. But they knew then that they had to get out. They didn't know. It was during an emergency landing, or no, I don't think it was even an emergency landing. I think it was a misjudged landing. She said it was due to pilot error, and it must have been quite foggy on the ground. So they had no warning that it was going to happen, but it wasn't as though they dropped out of the sky either.
So there was a fire. They thought there was a fire at the back, and they could see smoke at the front. So how did they get out?
The door in the middle of the plane, I think, was jammed shut, so they had to go to the front, but because the fire was behind them and they knew that there was fire there, they knew they had to get out quickly. But she knew the wings had come off as they came down. Both the wings sheared off through the trees, and she knew that that meant then that the fuel tanks were no longer there, thank goodness. And so they made their way to the front of the plane and got off actually before quite a few other people who weren't aware of the fire at the back of the plane.
And were they hurt at all?
Anna wasn't. Stuart has some injuries to his back, I think, but I don't know how serious.